Last time I spent a few days in the Kootenai National Forest before heading north into Montana and the Kootenai National Forest before heading into Canada. After leaving Sandpoint, I decided I needed to go north towards Canada, and the only forest in the area was in Montana, and that's what I'm riding now, is the Kootenai National Forest, probably 20 miles inside the border of Montana and another 20 miles south of Canada. And as you can see, I found another fire tower, and the first step, they say, the first step on the road to recovery is to admit you have a problem, and I have a problem. I'm addicted to fire towers. I love the scenery, the visibility, and just the spectacular views that they offer. So I'm gonna do my best to find every freaking fire tower in America. I'm back in Montana, and probably not 20-30 miles from Idaho, but Idaho's a narrow little strip up here this far north, and we're not that far from Canada. I would say probably less than 25-30 miles, and Canada is that way, and the outhouse is that way. But anyway, I love fire towers. I wished I could go up there, but the floor, as you go up the stairs, just to get up any further than the floor, is locked. It's got a big padlock on it, so I can't go up there. I'll probably spend the whole freaking day up there. The wind is just howling up there. It's pretty windy down here, but you go up that second flight of stairs, and it's just crazy wind up there. But I'd love to spend the night up there. That would be the best. I would love to spend the night in a fire tower. And I think they're only $50 or less. 20 to $50 is what I understand. So I gotta figure out how to do that, because that's one of the things I want to do before I leave. Spend the night in a fire tower. And it may freaking be this one. I don't know. All I gotta do is carry a sleeping bag and some food and water. Right? To this point, I have found that the best views in any forest are typically at the fire towers, but this is even more true in Kootenai. Unfortunately, these are by far the best views. I think simply just because they don't really cut a lot of their trees. It's probably one of the most dense forests I've been in, and what you find yourself doing is riding down rows with deep 100-foot tall trees. But the wildlife is everywhere, and this is just outside of Yak. At first I thought that was a dog collar, or an electric fence, or a invisible fence around this neck, but I think it's just a radio collar. And buzzing up the road going back to camp later that day, I run into a couple of moose. At first I thought they were elk because they were colored the same and they were about the same size. They were kind of small for moose, but anyway, they were fast. So early the next morning, I gather my gear and head up into Canada through Idaho. And of course, when I stopped at the window, I told him nothing to declare. These are not the droids you're looking for. Stupid me left the camera running, so this is the only clip you get of an awesome mountain pass that I crossed. I am at Gray's Creek Pass. I'm at the top. I can't believe that there's any more ways to go up. You can see there's snow still, or ice still over there. It looks like there's snow over there, but that's all rock. And altimeter is showing 6,700 feet. And it's cold up here. The most awesome part of the day is coming off that dirt mountain pass. I rode a couple miles down the pavement and then rolled right on to a free ferry, the last spot. And they were just closing the gate as I rolled on, but it was beautiful. Nice and calm as I rode over, and spectacular views, and it was all free. Hard to believe, but it was a lot of fun riding over, and I decided once I got up to Caslow that I would turn around and come back and take the ferry back over rather than riding a long way around. And that was worth it because the seas were just amazing. I mean, the 4-foot seas on the way back. But it was nice and calm going over, and great ride up to Caslow and back. And then once I got off the ferry going back, it was a great ride back to Idaho and eventually Montana. But just a spectacular day, and as you can see, it just kind of makes you want to be there, doesn't it? But I found a great spot to charge the camera just a little bit so I could get some footage coming off the ferry, and then a little bit on the way back from Caslow after I charged at the pub. It's 9:45 on Sunday night, and just over 400 miles since this morning. I've done 3 states, 2 nations, 2 ferry rides, 2 different ferries, 1 rugged mountain pass. I think it was like 6,700 feet. beautiful up there. Wish I could have stayed longer, but the mosquitoes were crazy. Probably the worst I've seen outside of a swamp. But I'm back. I'm worn out. I've been riding my ass off all day. And what little is left of my ass is going to be sitting on that chair over there, drinking a beer, watching the wood burn. But gotta get all this gear off me first. Join me next time as I head back down south into Idaho and attempt to cross the rugged Magruder corridor and try to find out why someone built a log cabin on top of a solid piece of rock.